There are signs of life on the streets of Idlib again. And Syrians say it's because of the recent ceasefire.
The jets aren't flying above us anymore. There are some violations from the regime with mortar and rocket fire near the frontline positions. But in general, the ceasefire has stopped the bombing campaign on Idlib, and life has returned to normal here.
Following months of Assad regime bombardment that killed hundreds and displaced hundreds of thousands of civilians, Russia and Turkey agreed to a ceasefire on March 6. But Abu Ala is still concerned about the future.
The future is unknown. Russia violated all the previous Russia-Turkey deals. Every deal, including Sochi, Astana, and even Geneva. Russia doesn't even care about the Geneva resolutions anymore.
Nearly 1 million people have been displaced since November due to bombardment. Ahmed fled with his family and says he won't accept regime control over his town.
We want the regime to go back to the Sochi lines. And even further, if possible, it would be great if the regime would leave all of Syria. But for now, if the regime goes back to the Sochi lines, that would be good enough.
After Turkey and Russia agreed to a ceasefire, they scheduled their first joint patrol of the M4 highway on March 15. But activists and locals set up what they call a dignity sit-in, cutting off the highway and preventing the joint patrols.
We've been here for more than 16 days conducting this sit-in. Our goal is to stop the Russian-Turkish joint patrols on the Latakia-Aleppo highway known as the M4. The Turkish military convoys are able to enter, but we're not allowing the Russians because they're the ones that killed our people and displaced us from our homes.
Hussein doesn't believe the ceasefire will help him get home.
People like me who've been displaced from Ghouta, Homs and Hama all know that the Russians can't be trusted. The current deal is that they would enter these areas and allow displaced people to return home. But this is not going to happen. People won't be able to go home. And if they decide to come to these areas, it will only be through military means.
With the world's efforts and resources focused on fighting COVID-19, Syrians are concerned that Idlib's conflict remains a tinderbox, waiting for the smallest of sparks to trigger an inferno. Obaida Hitto, TRT World, Northern Syria.